What makes a hero?
I think Yeshiva University.
Our amazing neighbors here in Washington Heights.
This past Sunday, Yeshiva University won their first ever Skyline Conference Championship.
We play for the Jewish people. There's nothing better than that.
Players wore.
We got a lot to talk about.
We do. That's why we got to come back in at 7:30 at the latest, because it's going to take me a minute to run through, a minute and a half to run through all of these, and I want to monopolize our time effectively. Okay, where did that? Oh, here's.
Today's contest is sponsored by Camp David Hockey Camp. Camp David is proud to announce the 2019 camp session now at the beautiful grounds of Camp La Vie, and introducing its new MYHSAL division for boys entering 5th and 6th grade. Featuring the most experienced, talented, and caring staff to provide close attention to your son's hockey needs, Camp David has helped players realize their true championship potential for 20 prices, pictures, and much, much more. We'll be right back with more action from today's championships only on the Yeshiva Sports Network and MaxLive.com. You are listening to the feature presentation of the Metropolitan Yeshiva High School Athletic League JV and Varsity Championships, a Yeshiva Sports Network and Max Live production. Today's broadcast is sponsored by Regal Bank. Visit any of their convenient branches and start making the most of your money today. Learn more at regalbanknj.com. Regal Bank is an equal housing and equal opportunity lender and a member of the FDIC. And by Camp David Hockey Camp. Camp David is proud to announce the 2019 camp session now at the beautiful grounds of Camp La Vie. Visit campdavid.com for dates, prices, pictures, and much, much more. And by Step It Up Basketball Sleepaway Camp. Log on to timetostepitup.com today to register your child for the basketball summer experience of a lifetime. We'll be back shortly with more action.
University for the Yeshiva Sports Network and Max Live season presentation of the 2019 Basketball Championship. Before we dive into more action, take a moment to thank today's sponsors. Regal Bank for the friendly service we want and the full range of banking services we need. New Jersey's favorite community bank with 10 branches across Morris, Essex, Somerset, and Union counties. Regal Bank provides everything from mobile and online banking to remote deposit and home equity loans. Visit any of their convenience branches and start making the most of your money today. Learn more at regalbanknj.com. Regal Bank is an equal housing and equal opportunity lender and member of the FDIC. And by Camp David Hockey Camp. Camp David is proud to announce the 2019 camp session now at the beautiful grounds of Camp La Vie, as well as its new MYHSAL division for 5th and 6th graders. Visit campdavid.com for dates, prices, pictures, and much, much more. Camp David, where hockey champions are born. And by Camp Step It Up, a sleepaway camp for basketball players located just 90 minutes away from New York, New Jersey area and just 60 minutes away from Teaneck, Englewood, and Peel, New Jersey. Camp Step It Up is located on the beautiful campus of the College of New Jersey. Step It Up is truly one-of-a-kind camp, a hardwood haven, combined with an inspiring Jewish experience while still maintaining a nurturing summer camp environment, featuring 9 full-size sports, a college varsity weighting, yoga studios, a full athletic training center, an Olympic-sized pool, and a first-class outdoor athletic center, not to mention world-class staff and coaches. Step It Up has everything to nurture and grow the talents of young boys and girls, both on and off the court. Off the court curriculum really develops the character and resilience of the campers while providing each of the campers with the basketball summer of their lives. Camp Step It Up. Log on to timetostepitup.com today and register your kids for the summer basketball experience of a lifetime. With only a few minutes to go before Pregame introduction, it's time to get down to business. To find out what truly separates the champions from the rest, being someone who knows a thing or two about creating champions, joining me on the call for this JV championship game, 2-time JV championship coach and respected basketball expert, Coach Cooper, JV head coach W. Foreman.
Happy to be here. Thanks for having me, guys.
So last time that you and I stood here together 2 years ago, we called this same exact matchup. What have these two programs been able to do to sustain such periods of excellence?
Well, I mean, you look at Magen David. Magen David is looking at the blueprint for how to build a successful program. You start in the 6th grade, and you build it up through the high school and the Dwex both Ike on the varsity level and Sal now on the JV level have just built a blueprint for absolute success. And the TABC side, the first thing they did was they looked at their head coach to bring in someone who could stabilize the program, not only bring in talent, but coach the talent. You can have plenty of talent, there's plenty of talent in the league, but if you don't have the coach in order to coach the talent, you're not going to go far. And Oswald Cross has proven to be the absolute TABC, the absolute coaching genius on the TABC side. I expect a really intense game on both sides. It's be interesting to see what Magen David does here. Usually they are a run and gun team. They have a big, so I want to see what they're going to do. And I think what Oz is going to do on the TABC side is to counter the speed. To counter the bigs on the Magen David side. I think he's going to look to push the ball where typically he likes to slow it down and run some sort of stall offense on the offensive side.
So I'm going to backtrack out a little bit because I think it pays to take a look at the league as a whole to see how these two teams got here. As I mentioned in the intro, what you have standing in front of you is an anomaly. I can't tell, at least from my vantage point, or at least from anybody who I've asked their vantage point, where there's ever been such parity in the league that you now have two number 3 seeds, one from each conference, standing in front of you fighting for a championship.
Could not agree more. I think both on the JV and varsity level, we'll stick with the JV now, I think coming into the season, North Shore looked to be the dominant favorites, and TABC and SAR on the Western Conference side of things. But in terms of parity, you're absolutely correct. Both these teams 8-2. Frisch beat SAR, TABC beat SAR. You had Magen David lose to DRS. DRS beat Hafter lose to Magen David. A ton of parity across the league. No clear-cut dominance. And that makes for a really interesting basketball season, and we hope a really interesting championship game.
So let's talk about the two teams. Well, it pays to mention that both of these teams are our last two JV champions. Both coming today with schools having experience, but it also pays to note TABC is the only one of the two teams with players who have played in a championship game. Let's talk a little about that experience and what Magen David really needs to counter that.
I think the experience is important on the player level, but you got to remember on the Magen David side, they have the coaching experience and the coaching pedigree. Sal Dweck knows what he's doing. He's no stranger to the championship game. That being said, there is something to be said about having experience on the court. From looking on the court on the TBC side, I'm not sure exactly who played much last year.
Well, they didn't actually play here last year. We remind our viewers, last year because of the storms, the championship game for the JV was moved from the Maxwell Athletic Center to MYHSAL. And so it's not really this court, but it's just championship experience as a whole, I guess.
It's the experience. Look, for the most part on the JV level, we don't get the fans that we'd like to see all the time that the varsity level does, and this is a bigger experience. The whole fan base, closer, larger court. So it's something in terms of the nerves, but you're right, TABC's got a couple more kids with that experience. Even in MYHSAL last year, that place was packed. They had to turn people away. So it's going to be interesting.
Let's take a look back, at least from Magen David, because we talked about the experience. Does the fact that Magen David has played here recently, I know TABC plays here during the year also when they play MTA. I'm not sure. You can let me know if they played here this past year, looking on the schedule. It looks as if they did. They played here as well. Does that account for anything for Magen David to sort of calm the nerves a bit about playing on the university court?
It does, but interestingly enough, both TABC and Magen David have larger courts than most in the Yeshiva League on the JV level, so I don't think that's going to be much. Magen David does have the experience of playing in this court a little bit sooner than TABC, a little bit more recent. I don't expect that to be much of a factor in either direction.
All right, so we'll get into keys to the game in just a couple of minutes because we're expecting, with about 30 seconds on the clock, we're expecting Commissioner Seth Gordon to fire up the mic any minute now as the teams prepare to their bench. TABC to the right of us, Magen David to the left of us, and we're almost ready to go, and we're almost ready to bring a capper to this championship season, at least on the Yeshiva League. I want to remind everybody, this coming Thursday, Max Live will bring to you live coverage of the 2019 Red Sarachek Memorial Basketball Tournament. You can see that maxlive.com the entire weekend leading up to Monday Madness, which every year everybody always tunes in. Workday is ruined.
What work day? That's a
People-
national holiday.
It's strange how they talk about how much fantasy football and fantasy sports ruin a work day. Monday of the Red Sarachek tournament, no work gets done, period. Forget about March Madness on the outside. This is where all eyes are. But right now, today, this championship Sunday, right here as well, TABC Magen David, 2-3 seeds. Both teams at 8 and 2, about ready to go. Send it down to Commissioner Seth Gordon with the introductions.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. We welcome you back. Before we continue, just want to give a special thank you to Regal Bank of New Jersey. Regal Bank, the sponsor of our broadcast booth. This being the Regal Bank broadcast booth at the Max Stern Athletic Center for this championship game. TABC fans to the right of us, raucous as usual. Last week's JV hockey championship. Coach, talking about TABC, what do they got to do to be successful here today?
TABC's got to focus on the 2 stars of the Magen David Warriors. That would be Elliot Dweck, number 1, and their big man Joel Sultan. He can knock down some mid-range jumpers, and he likes to crash the board on the offensive side as well. So those are the 2 X factors for Magen David.
And on the Magen David's end, again, a team that they haven't seen in a while, but a team that definitely somebody that they've been familiar with over the past couple of years.
Their main focus is and should be on Zevi Sabat, number 11. The kid is an absolute stud on the court. He's a knockdown shooter. He likes to leak out on and get the ball up the court on defensive rebounds. They have to stop him getting easy buckets, which will turn into easy outside shots for him. That's how he gets going.
You can see the players congregated on the court in front of us. Ball about to be tipped off. TABC, gold with blue lettering. Numbers, no names on the back. Magen David, blue and white. Names on the back. Going from, and we'll have a redo of the tip. Magen David going from your left to right. TABC, your right to left.
Love that we have 3 refs for the championship game.
Always good to have enough. And we're going to have the ball going TABC way as Sultan caught the ball himself off the tip-off.
It'll be interesting to see Magen David. If there is a close game towards the end of this game, I think the fans are going to be a big factor for Magen David as you have the varsity fans streaming in a little bit late for the varsity game. So that'll be interesting to see as the game progresses. Magen David in their standard 2-1-2 zone defense. That's what Sally likes to play a lot. He will show, very rare, but he will show a 3-2 light press.
Kindler controls the ball up top, over to Suss. Dribbles. Over to Gopin. Gopin to Samet, puts it up, misses. Rebound by Kindler. Kindler puts it back up. He's a little wild on that. Rebounded.
Here goes Magen on the break.
A Shrem over to Dweck. Dweck lays it up and in for the first 2 points of this game.
Both these coaches know how to find easy ways to get buckets. They'll leak both guys out. Salmon on the TABC side, and we just saw on the Magen David side a leak out as well after all defensive rebounds. You got to control the boards, and you got to make sure you get back on defense. Transition defense is the key here.
Kindler with the ball. Passes it over to Samet. Samet back to Suss. Suss work his way around the top. Finding Samet. Samet gets it down low. Passed up what could have been an easier open shot. Back to Samet for 3. That's a second 3 already. Rebound, tip. Back to Stepner. Stepner goes up, gets blocked, and Magen David has the ball. Dweck moving the ball up the court.
Samet 0 for 2 already. He likes to get easy buckets in transition. If you control that, his outside shot becomes a little tighter.
Magen David slowing it down, working back at the top. Shrem goes back to the timeline. And a little catch. Shrem sends it down low. Inside to Eliyahu. Eliyahu tries to lay it up and in. Not getting there. Sultan missed as well.
Both teams starting a little sloppy, a little nervous. Understandable.
Let's see if the outside-inside contrast between the 2 teams continue as well. Kindler sends it over to Gopin. Gopin drives, thinks about it twice, passes out to Kindler. Suss.
Looking on short corner touches for TABC. They like to hit short corner and high post. Nice high-low over there.
Suss with the floater does not get it. Rebound by Kindler, and he'll be fouled.
TABC does a really nice job crashing the boards. You'll see a guy who will be subbing in later who to me is their X factor. That's Ezra Barron on the offensive board side, number 13 when he comes in. TABC loves to crash the offensive board. Both Kindler, Stepner, and Barron, who comes in a little bit later, are really good offensive rebounders.
Foul call on Leo Beta, his first. 6:08 left in the first quarter of play. And Kindler misses the first. 2-0 Magen David.
Clearly nerves are a factor here in the beginning.
That's to be expected. It's a big court, and it's a big stage. Calms down, nails the second. It's a 2-1.
So TABC will show a 1-2-2 press here, which they become accustomed to. And here we go.
Shows fruits right there. Pass ahead to Kindler, who can't control the pass from Samet.
Oz has shown his 12 press, his 1-2-2. He's got a couple different variations on it where he'll trap, front court, and he'll trap back court. Here he'll have Kindlera chasing on the front court side. The key is obviously in any press to hit the middle.
And Sultan with the errant pass winding up in TABC's hands. Suss pulls up. Perimeter jumper misses short.
Offensive rebound's a factor for TABC here. They're really hitting the boards.
Samet for his third three. Misses this one as well. Brought down by Shrem. And Magen able to slow it down, coming back up the court in the hands of Shrem.
Looks like TABC showing a 1-3-1. It's not your typical 1-3-1. They'll actually come and switch guys on the wing and then to the what we call the nail on the free throw line. So it ends up becoming a 2-3 on the first pass, but now it's actually a 2-3 here.
Shrem and Beta playing catch for a couple of seconds there. Ball winding up down by the baseline and out of bounds.
When Oz first started in the league, he was a pure man-to-man coming from the AAU circuit. He's really adjusted to Yeshiva League basketball really well and actually implemented really nice zone defenses.
As we get a travel on Beta, and the ball will go back to TABC with 5:13 remaining in this first quarter of play. Get an inbounds from Gopin. Suss laying it off for Samet. See them playing catch. Samet looking to pulls up jumper from the elbow, misses. Beta pulls it down. Beta looking at things twice about bringing it up himself, and he'll put it back in the guard Shrem's hand.
If I'm Samet, I'm keep on shooting. He's too good not to keep shooting. He's 0 for 4 to start, but I wouldn't be worried as a coach. I'd keep encouraging the shots. As
Dweck puts up the three, misses short, pulled down by Kindlera.
And there goes Samet on the leap.
Kindlera to Samet. Samet takes it and he gets the foul.
Wow, that was a rough call. Looks like he got all ball on that one.
Tough to see from our side, but it looked at least up. Last play before was a foul on Kindlera, so he will pick up his first, and that one was a foul by Joe Sultan, so he will pick up his first.
Obviously, TABC's strategy has to be attack Sultan as much as possible. The more he's on the bench, the easier buckets inside are going to be.
Samet ties up the game with his first free throw.
I expect on a made free throw here to TABC to show a press again.
And there we go, TABC getting their first lead, all three on free throws. 4:39 left in the first quarter of play. Shrem hounded in the backcourt. Gets the ball to Sultan over the timeline. Sultan to the free throw line. Back out to Shrem. Gets it down low to who puts passing to Sultan, who was able to lay it up and in.
Solly Dweck really encourages ball movement, as you saw on that play over there. Once the ball hits the middle on that press, you're in trouble. It's a scramble at that point.
Kindlera gets it back out to Stepner. Stepner drives, puts it up, and pulled down by Magen David. Shrem will bring him back up the floor.
TBC back to a 2-3. They run a Syracuse-like 2-3 where they'll bump the bottom guy. Easy bucket over there, and missed shot. Easy look.
Missed by Eliyahu. Brought back up the floor by Gopin. Gopin to Samet. Samet's going to drive on the left, and they're going to say it's out of bounds.
That is excellent defense, Elliot. Really excellent defense. And here comes who I believe is the X factor on the TBC side, number 13, Ezra Barron. He will crash the offensive boards.
And he'll spell Avery Stepner for the next few minutes.
Now, if you watch on this 12 press, the top two guys will basically be on a rope and pull each other from out of there.
Oh, wow. Going back the other way.
Very interesting.
I didn't see what happened there on the turnover.
So that was one of the interesting variations that Oz will run on it. Here he'll run the press off it. Instead of directing a guy to one side of the court, he'll actually look to hard trap on the front court. So that's one of Oz's variations on the 1-2-2 press.
Teddy Shrem picks up his foul. Kindlera will go back to the line for 2 more shots.
Elliot, as a coach, I've wondered for years why Oz always pulls his guys off on free throws.
Well, it's funny because 2 years ago we were asking the same question about Coach Dweck and Magen David.
I don't understand it, but he does it.
I must tell you, after last year when in prep for this game, because we thought we would be doing this game, I talked to him, I asked him, why do you do that? And he says, well, we have enough trust in our guys that they're going to make the shots. Even if they don't, we're back already on defense, getting ourselves set for the other team coming back the other way. So it's 5-4 now. 5 points for TABC.
All free throws, right?
All free throws, and now Magen David taking back the lead.
It's okay. I don't mind giving up those easy buckets on the press. I think the press will wear you down and make an offensive team make quicker decisions than they are accustomed to doing.
As TABC swings it around the outside, Suss sets it out to Samet. Samet looking to drive things better. Passes it out to Kindlera. Kindlera to the free throw line. Passes it over to Gopin for the three. misses just a little long and pulled down.
Magen David's strategy is interesting here. They are making you beat. They're making them you beat them from the outside. They are sagging their 2-1-2. He usually pressures up on the outside solidly. He's letting the guys shoot. He'll adjust obviously if they start hitting free throws. Outside shots.
Well, it seems that TABC is playing right into that, just allowing themselves to step up for the threes and the perimeter twos.
I've seen no inside-out touches in his own offense, which you need to do. It's got to touch post or short corner or something like that.
Magen David, on the other hand, seems to be doing that effectively, extremely well, getting the high-low at the free throw and then down to the big man's down low. That's the first foul on Eitan Suss. Magen David will inbounds onto the basket. Dweck.
There's your short corner touch.
Passes it off to Eliyahu, who lays it in gently.
Your zone offense, you want to go inside out, generate your outside shots off inside touches. Short corner is zone killers.
We have an 8-5 lead. 2:24 left in this first quarter of play as Kinderlehrer calls out a play up top. Barron, his first touch of the game.
So on this X play, what they like to do is they like to isolate Stepner on a one-time touch inside. He didn't get it, he vacates. And here we go, outside shot again.
Samet misses again. So now Stepner back in. Stepner and Barron both in at the same time now.
I like it. I like it. They need some height. They need to work inside. And as you see, by the way, Elliot, they're bringing in number 3, Ellie Sachs. Get some outside
rejected
shots.
on the 3.
There comes Ellie Sachs, a sharpshooter. You will notice he really likes to shoot the ball from the corner. An excellent three-point shooter. Really crafty point guard.
And Samet getting a spell with 1:47 left to go in this first quarter of play.
Magen David has a game plan, and they're executing their game plan. They have a strategy. They're really daring TABC to beat it from the outside. They're really actually slowing down the pace of the game, which is interesting on an MDY side. Here's your double screen for a corner shot. No look.
Shrem with the ball. Gets it back, puts it up for the 3. Misses. Tapped down by Barron. Barron outlets all the way to Sachs. Sachs for the 3. Misses the first. Shrem will pull it down. Looks to come back the other way. Shrem has Beta with him. Shrem drives around and gets rejected by Barron. Kinderlehrer back the other way. Kinderlehrer looks to drive the entire way, and it's tried to get that pass over to Sachs in the corner, as we were just mentioning. It'll be off of Eliyahu's leg and out of bounds with 1:10 to go.
If I'm TBC, I am not panicking here. They are not. Their shots are not going. You keep shooting. It's early in the game. The laws of average will pick up here. There's their double post. They'll look outside.
And it'll pick up by Gopin. Over to Kinderlehrer, who's just a long 3. That's a
not
college
a
3. That was a college 3. Or even more. That might have even been an NBA 3. As Magen David now comes up the floor. TABC, the lid on the basket from outside the arc.
Magen David really looking to abuse that high post, that nail, and they're doing a really good job. That kid, Elio, really should have shot that.
Sultan, though. Sultan down low. He's been a monster. 6 points already. And Magen David has a 10-5 lead with 34 seconds to go in the first. Kinderlehrer bringing the ball back up the floor. Kinderlehrer really seems to be that secondary point guard when Suss takes a breather.
Yeah, and again, they like to run. Here's a double screen in a corner for Sachs, which they like to hit.
Sachs puts it up, misses long. And
0 for whatever on the 3, but
seems
again,
like they're 0 for 6 at this point, if I'm correct.
I'm not panicking.
Not yet. Gopin with the interception, takes it back the other way, lays it up, misses, but the foul. Shrem will take this foul.
What a huge steal by Gopin. What a huge steal. Going into the half with Magen David up by 5 with the ball, that is a momentum shift.
And also a very ill-advised foul, because that's Shrem's second. We're not even out of the first. 4-6 left in the first. Shrem's second foul already. So maybe, I mean, look, you don't look for that too early in the game, but maybe just stepping out of the way and saying, you know what, he's getting 2 shots. You know, he's getting 2 points and save it for the next quarter.
Well, you got to make sure when you foul a kid that they don't get a shot up.
Right. But at that point, he was already on the way up.
Yeah.
And he banged into him. Gopin will go for the second, missing the first. Pots in TABC's 6th point off the free throw. With 3 seconds left to go. Shrem trying to push it up. Shrem, he's up from half court and just misses with no time left on the clock. End of the first quarter of play here at the Max Stern Athletic Center between Magen David and TABC. Coach, first quarter of play, we've seen TABC with 6 free throws. Magen David getting 6 points out of Sultan down low. What has to change for TABC first on the offensive end, and secondly in stopping Sultan down low?
Well, certainly on the offensive end, on any zone offense, you need to get post touches. And I define post touches as high post, mid post, or short corner touches. That will generate your outside shots. Here they're moving the ball around without any post touches and just heaving threes. Again, if I'm TABC, I'm not completely panicking. The shots will fall. But what I like Magen David is doing is, like I said, they're daring them to shoot. They have a strategy. They're slowing the pace of the game down on the offensive side, and they're sagging their 2-1-2 beautifully. TABC's got to adjust and start post touches.
Again, thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to Regal Bank of New Jersey. We are live to you in the Regal Bank broadcast booth here at the Max Stern Athletic Center. Also, a thank you to Camp Step It Up. Camp Step It Up. Take a look. Time to stepitup.com. 2 to 8 week options available for a heavily I want to say a camp that has a lot of attendance, heavily attended camp, especially by a lot of the players in this game. 8 players in this game have been to Camp Step It Up, as we see a rejection by Barron.
Barron's third block. Or second?
Third block. I thought it was a second. I must have missed one. As Samet now trying to push it up. Shrem got a hand in there. Suss back to Samet. Samet over to Stepner for 3. And he nails it. The ABC's first field goal of the day is a 3 from the big man, Avery Stepner.
It just felt like that steal at the end of the quarter was a momentum shift. It just felt that way. It'd be interesting to see what Eliyahu does with 2 fouls here, how he plays, if he stays aggressive.
I believe that's Shrem, not Eliyahu.
Oh, okay.
Shrem.
But Shrem's still in there also.
Shrem, well, the plays run through Shrem on Magen David's end. He's their main ball handler, their main distributor. So he's going to be in there for as long as they can be in there. Reminiscent of Yoni Mann on the other end for the last few years for TABC. They're just running it around the perimeter at this point. It looks as if they're having Stepner shadow Sultan down low no matter what.
It looks like Leo Beta is not even looking at the basket, not even attempting to make a basketball play on the basket. Interesting. They are nowhere, they're not even coming close to guarding him because he doesn't look interested at all.
Beta, Shrem.
This is a big defensive stance here for TBC. You sort of felt the momentum shift on the Stepner 3. Let's see if they can get a stop here.
Eliyahu at the free throw line, back to Beta. I think TABC is not taking the bait in and bringing both players out on. They're only bringing one out on the 2 outside. So keeping one guarded at the line to make sure nobody gets to the high-low. And we got a 3 pull-up from Shrem, rolls in and out. So ill-advised shot, really a frustration shot it looked like.
Excellent defense by TABC, forcing that ill-advised shot.
Suss with the one-hander, misses. Barron fighting for it. Barron almost outlet to Dweck. Dweck by himself, puts it up, and it's good. 2 points for Dweck, and it's 12-9. Magen David 3-point lead opened back up.
That was huge. Absolutely huge.
Second time we've seen the transition game really make a difference for Magen David at that point. Stepner into Suss. Suss pulls it back out.
Magen David on the offensive side has to bring Sultan up to the high post. Let's see if we can knock down a 3 here. Again, no shot. Offensive rebound. Nice defense by Sultan straight up.
With the hand right over Stepner. I don't know that Stepner's used to people being that much over him. As the ball goes into the free throw line. Eliyahu pulls up.
He's not interested.
Eliyahu gets it on rebound and puts it right back in.
It looks like he gets the ball in the high post. You know what he's looking for? He's looking for that high-low dump to Sultan. They're sagging off him. They're looking for that. He's got to knock down that mid-range jumper from the high post.
Right, and TABC to that point was actually doing a very good job of rotating one man out and keeping one man at the line to guard off that high-low pass. So there, TABC just a little lagging in what got them to be successful for the first 3 minutes of this quarter.
Very interesting to see how these coaches adjust mid-game. Very good coaches, really Yeshiva League coaches that adjust mid-game.
Samet with another 3, missing long. This time Suss, the little man, bringing the ball out.
Offensive rebound's a factor with TABC right now, getting second chance looks.
Barron with the running hander and puts it in.
Here we go with their 1-2-2 press. Which variation is it right now?
As the ball gets to Dweck, Dweck pushing it up on Stepner. And the ball goes the other way, stripped. Couldn't see.
Ill-advised.
And it's going back the other way.
No, I think he actually stopped the game on a fast break to talk to the fans, which is...
What happened there?
I'm not exactly sure, but that is in TABC's disadvantage. I'm not exactly sure what happened there.
I looked down for 1 second, looked up. 14-11, 4-13, strange occurrence.
Magen David has to do a better job boxing out on the defensive end. There's too many second chance points here.
I think there may have been players walking in on the floor, and so the refs wanted to make sure that they weren't interfering with the game. Stepner rejected by Sultan. Again, that's a second straight possession.
Interesting, a different Magen Davis Warriors team than I've seen in the past. They don't push it as much. They leak that one guy out on defensive rebounds, but they don't really look to push the ball. They got their assassin defender back in on TABC, Kindlerer, who's an excellent on-ball defender.
Sultan puts up a 14-foot jumper that misses. TABC back the other way. Stepner puts it up and in. Stepner with his 5th points of the quarter and brings TABC back to within 1 with 3:33 to go.
Magen David getting a taste of their own medicine, Elliot.
Yep. Not watching, and then it's a big man Stepner getting out ahead also. It's not. We're not talking Samuel. We're not talking Suss. We're not talking Sachs. They let Stepner run through them, and Stepner will pick up the ball off a bad inbounds pass. Ball works around to Gopin.
If TABC knocks down a shot here, it's a timeout for Magen David, I'm going to say.
Kindlerer bringing it back to the top. Swings it to Samet. Samet with a pick by Stepner. Puts up for the jumper. Misses short. Fight for the rebound. Pulled down by Dweck. Dweck will come back the other way. Oh, that was close. Back to Eliyahu at the line. Eliyahu up and under. Misses.
I like that move by Eliyahu. We attack the basket. I don't mind the miss. I like the aggressiveness.
Kindlerer draws 3 players. Sends it over to Gopin. Gopin drives the baseline and banks it in.
No timeout. Interesting.
And now we have a 15-14 TABC lead. TABC on a 6-0 run. And picked off. Salmon missing. Rebounded by, looked like Kindlerer, and the ball will go out of bounds TABC way. Kindlerer picking up the rebound. Not getting what he wanted. And we'll get a timeout or 2 called by Magen David.
I think a timeout a little bit too late. So Kindlerer is completely ball denying on the 1-2-2 press, and they're bringing nobody else up. And Dweck is unable to get free off Kindlerer's ball pressure.
So first timeout, I believe, first time out of the game. Magen David, 2:37 left to go in the half. Quick moving game.
Quick moving game, agreed. And I like what both teams are doing. They're adjusting. I think TABC needs to again keep attacking on the short corner and high post. And I think Magen David again, which we saw Eliyahu do on the last play, was when that ball is hitting the high post, they're literally all falling down to the short corner, and they're all falling down to Dweck. He's got to attack that, which he did on that time.
So TABC on a 6-0 run, 9-4 in the quarter, finally getting a field goal to go. They have 4 so far. As the ball into Barron. Barron was untouched there. 2 points, that's 4 for him on the afternoon.
Magen bringing nobody else up.
And we'll get a foul.
Yeah, now he's telling Eliyahu, telling Eliyahu to come up and help. He's bringing nobody else up.
That will be Kindlerer's second. Big, because if he gains it, and he picks off the pass, up and misses. Wow, opportunity. And they're going to call another foul on him?
That's his 3rd.
Oh, wow. I was about to say, that's big having 2, especially at this point, but 3 even worse.
A huge turn of events, a steal, missed layup, and then a 3rd foul, an ill-advised 3rd foul.
It sounds like a perfect triangle, or imperfect triangle, perfect storm between the 3. Yeah, I didn't realize I made that pun. Pass out to Samet. Samet's going to just take the 3. He had an entire way to drive in, and he just pulled up for a 3-pointer. Magen David come back the other way. Up and missed by Beta. Pulled down by Gopin. Coming back the other way. Gives the ball to Suss.
Good play by Oz, slowing it down.
Ball gets back to Suss. Barron turns, sends it to Gopin. Gopin fakes the shot, sends it to Barron. Barron out to Stepner. Over to Suss. Almost intercepted by Shrem. Get it over to Samet.
Ooh, almost a double dribble.
Yeah, almost a travel there. Gopin.
So they're going to slow it down here.
Suss for 3. Misses, and a pull down by Magen David again. Dweck
It looked like Oz wanted them to slow it down. I'm not sure he liked that shot.
Eliyahu drives again, as you mentioned, a key point. Missing, though. TABC pulls it down. Suss over to Samatamit's going to pull back. Back to Suss. Gopin. Long three. Nails it. Massive three-pointer right there. Almost intercepted. Shrem. Dweck.
Magen looks like they're not aware of how to break this press. I'm surprised. They are literally begging Eliyahu to take it, and he did.
And he does with the foul. 20-16. Eliyahu will go to the line. Foul will be on Stepner, his first.
And I'll be honest, if I'm Oz, I'm happy with that. This guy has proven, Eliyahu has proven that he's not making these shots usually. He's got to make them, and then you adjust.
And he'll miss on the free throw. 20-16, Magen David now down by 4. TABC with 42 seconds left. Looks like they're going to hold for 1. Suss over to Samet.
As a Yeshiva League coach with no shot clock, yeah. I understand the need to hold for 1. It just, I've seen it fail way more than it succeeds.
Well, I thought we'd be able to wait until our varsity game to talk about delayed play, given last year's championship or almost ending, the end of regulation. But here we go, 45 seconds now holding. We're down to 10. So
he's going to high screen Stepner, come off for shot, corner, bang.
Rolls and hits off the back, and a 0 on the clock. A long heave. Oh! Hit iron, hit backboard. We are done with the first half of play in the JV championship. 20-16 TABC leads. We'll be back right after this. Gopin was that last 3, correct? Yeah, I got that. I think I'm good. So.
Rabbi, how you doing? Good luck, Rabbi. What?
Action from today's contest.
Missing all the shots, you're still up by 4. That's how you got to look at it.
You are listening to the feature presentation of the Metropolitan Yeshiva High School Athletic League JV and Varsity Championships, a Yeshiva Sports Network and Max Live production. Today's broadcast is sponsored by Regal Bank. Visit any of their convenient branches and start making the most of your money today. Learn more at regalbanknj.com. Regal Bank is an equal housing and equal opportunity lender and a member of the FDIC. And by Camp David Hockey Camp. Camp David is proud to announce the 2019 camp session, now at the beautiful grounds of Camp La Vie. Visit campdavid.com for dates, prices, pictures, and much, much more. And by Step It Up Basketball Sleepaway Camp. Log on to timetostepitup.com today to register your child for the basketball summer experience of a lifetime. We'll be back shortly with more action from today's contests.
What makes a hero?
I think Yeshiva University.
Our amazing neighbors here in Washington Heights.
This past Sunday, Yeshiva University won their first ever Skyline Conference Championship.
We play for the Jewish people. There's nothing better than that.
Players wore warm-up shirts with the 11 names of those who lost their lives.
Leiloi Nishmas, Ari Fold, Hashem Yikom Damo.
You're going to need newsprint and charcoal to start.
For you are the leaders of tomorrow. You are our future.
You are listening to the feature presentation of the Metropolitan Yeshiva High School Athletic League JV and Varsity Championships, a Yeshiva Sports Network and Max Live production. Today's broadcast is sponsored by Regal Bank. Visit any of their convenient branches and start making the most of your money today. Learn more at regalbanknj.com. Regal Bank is an equal housing and equal opportunity lender and a member of the FDIC. And by Camp David Hockey Camp. Camp David is proud to announce the 2019 camp session now at the beautiful grounds of Camp La Vie. Visit campdavid.com for dates, prices, pictures, and much, much more. And by Step It Up Basketball Sleepaway Camp. Log on to timetostepitup.com today to register your child for the basketball summer experience of a lifetime. We'll be back shortly with more action from today's contests. Today's contest is sponsored by Regal Bank of New Jersey. For the friendly service you want and the full range of banking services you need, go see Regal Bank. As New Jersey's favorite community bank, they have 10 branches across Morris, Essex, Somerset, and Union counties. From mobile and online banking to remote deposit and home equity loans, they offer it all to keep you thriving in today's fast-paced world. And they believe that your needs always come first. Visit any of their convenient branches and start making the most of your money today. Learn more at regalbanknj.com. Regal Bank is an equal housing and equal opportunity lender and a member of the FDIC. Today's contest is sponsored by Camp David Hockey Camp. Camp David is proud to announce the 2019 camp session now at the beautiful grounds of Camp La Vie and introducing its new MYHSAL division for boys entering 5th and 6th grade, featuring the most experienced, talented, and caring staff to provide close attention to your son's hockey needs. Camp David has helped players realize their true championship potential for 20 years and can do the same for you. Visit campdavid.com for dates, prices, pictures, and much, much more. We'll be right back with more action from today's championships only on the Yeshiva Sports Network and MaxLive.com. You are listening to the feature presentation of the Metropolitan Yeshiva High School Athletic League JV and Varsity Championships, a Yeshiva Sports Network and Max Live.
We are back at the Max Stern Athletic Center on the campus of Yeshiva University for Yeshiva Sports Network and Max Live coverage of the 2019 JV and Varsity Basketball Championships. We bring it back. We'd like to thank... We come to you live from the Regal Bank broadcast booth. Give them a look. RegalBankNJ.com. Also, Camp David Hockey Camp and Camp Step It Up. Camp Step It Up, like to remind you about their successful girls sleepaway camp program, which they started just a year ago. Also, their new 10 for 10 program, 10 days of Step It Up for 10th graders going into Israel trips this summer. That runs from June 26th to July 5th. More information, timetostepitup.com or email office@campstepitup.com. Elliot Weiselberg back live. Coach Billy Foreman. Coach, 3 minutes left on the clock to the continuation of this game. What happened in the second quarter? We talked about a huge difference, you and I, between the first quarter for Magen for TABC.
I mean, the big thing we spoke about was Sultan with 0 points, right? So Oz makes his adjustment. He's daring Eliyahu on the high post. He's daring him to either, to take it himself. In the beginning, he was dumping it off short corner to the big guy, to Sultan, or kicking it for Dweck for 3. At this point, Oz makes the adjustment, focuses a little bit more on Sultan, and basically 0 points to show for it.
Well, 0 points to Sultan. Eliyahu picking up the scoring, leading Magen David that quarter with 4. But Magen David as a whole, only 6 points on the quarter. TABC, about to use the pun again, storming right back, scoring 14 points in that quarter. What are they doing on the offensive end that's much different than they were the quarter before?
Well, I think they're generating steals off the press. and I think they're getting out in transition a little bit more. The press is really impacting Magen David. I'm a little bit surprised on how much it's impacting, but it's really impacting, and they're getting easy looks. And even when they miss the looks, they're getting rebounds and then free throws.
Well, what does Magen David have to do to reverse that and start breaking through the press?
Well, Magen David, a little bit, they have to bring up a second guy to help. Kindler, who has 3 fouls, we'll see if Oz starts him or rests him a little bit midway and brings him back midway through the third. But they have to bring up a second guy to help on the press.
Well, the good thing for them is, at least a good thing for TABC, is that Ezra Barron has filled in very nicely. Ezra can work very well with Gopin and Stepner. The 3 of them seem to have done well towards the end of that quarter with Kindler on the bench.
Yeah. Here's the rosy outlook as a coach when I go in on the locker room on both teams. If I'm TABC, I'm saying to my team, guys, we are up 20-16. We are up by 4 points, and we played a miserable first half with no shots. And we played really good defense, but we're not knocking down our shots, and we're up 4.
Well, they didn't hit a 3 until
Stepner, right?
Stepner was the first, and that was with under 3 minutes to go in the half.
Right. If I'm Magen David, my rosy outlook is, guys, we are only down 4, and we can't break this press, and we can't hit a mid-range jumper from the free throw line elbow in. We're in good shape. We're exactly where we want to be. And like I said, I think it's a little. I still think Magen David's going to pick up a little bit of juice as the varsity fans for Magen David start to filter into the court a little bit later in the second half. Again, both coaches should have a rosy outlook. I expect TABC to come out a little bit more aggressive in their half-court offense, and I expect Magen David to look to push the ball a little bit more on their side.
Well, certainly 4 points, not 15 or 20 at the break. A very, very quick-moving first half of play. A lot of passing around the perimeter for both teams.
Yeah, interesting. That's what I'm saying. I think I think Magen David's got to show a little bit more sense of urgency on the offensive side. TABC's really doing what they should on the zone press, and Magen David just playing right into it, where they're taking ill-advised three-point shots.
And to your point, Kindler not among the 5 TABC players on the floor right now. TABC will send out Suss. They'll send out Gopin, who will inbound the board. Stepner, Barron, and Samet. Magen David countering with Eliyahu, Sultan, Beta, Shrem, and Dweck.
I'm going to say these first 2 minutes are going to tell us a lot about the game. I think Magen David I think TABC has to match Magen David's intensity and match their intensity coming out of the second half. These 2 minutes are going to tell us a lot. Early possessions, let's see what they do.
Barron, that's the second time, gets his own rebound. That's the second time that he's had that wide open shot from the first half. Missed this one, he'll go to the line after getting his own rebound.
What they do is they bring a guy to the corner and they hope the bottom of the 2-3 leaks out to that, and then they got the open post look. Well designed, well executed play by Oz.
Second foul on Leo Beta. He'll join Shrem with 2 fouls as Barron misses the first. Misses the second. Also pulled down by Suss, and TABC will set up their offense. Barron.
Second chance points, Elliott. Dictate the tempo of the game, control the boards, you win the basketball game.
Samet open, passing it around the perimeter again. All four outsiders, and then they flare Stepner out on the other end. Long range 3 for Gopin, and he hits it. It pays off.
I don't love the shot. It went in, but they had a post touch.
Well, they've been looking for it the entire day. It's just the first quarter it didn't happen. The second quarter they started hitting it, so they're going right back to it.
Ike screaming at Sultan for not being in the middle. I'm not sure I love Sultan on the middle of the break press because when he gets the ball, he's not a very good dribbler. I would probably put someone with a little bit more ball handle.
The largest lead of the game by either side. TABC up by 7:15 to go in this third quarter of play.
Oz throwing the kitchen sink on the defensive end out here, throwing this 2-3 rush at him. Really, really keeping Magen David on their toes.
Dweck, Shrem,
there's
inside to Eliyahu, tries to drive, gets bodied up by Stepner, and Barron pulls on the board. Outlets to Samet. Samet slowing it down. Samet had Stepner down low had he looked there. Didn't do it. Gopin, Suss. Stepner for 3. Misses long, pulled down by Dweck. Dweck looking to run, and he'll get a foul on Suss on the way down the court. Suss's second. We'll get a
really, really important possession here for Magen David. You're down 7. You got to bring it back to 5. Otherwise, it's gonna get a little bit out of hand a little bit quicker.
Shrem.
Nothing really being executed on the offensive side here. Again with Eliyahu. Again, okay.
They're daring him to do it, but he's finding the lane there.
It's interesting. It really is. It's a great strategy by Oz, and it's a good adjustment by Sali. Let's see if it continues.
Well, as long as the threes keep falling for them, and we'll see if this one doesn't. As long as the three keeps falling, giving up a 2 on the other end, or daring them to try a 2 on the other end doesn't really do much damage. Dweck drives it in and lays it in.
The Golden State theory. I agree 100%. However, you got to get stops on the defensive end.
23-20. 7-point game, now a 3-point game. 4 straight points for the Warriors. 6:04 left in this third quarter.
Watch Stepner drop and look to seal. Okay.
And it's out of bounds, mishandled by Samet. Magen David will inbounds deep in their own court.
So interesting enough, I talked about the first 2 minutes, and we're right back where we started. It's basically a 3-point. Here they rush out. Again, interesting stops mid-play. Really both hurt TABC in my opinion.
Because they're sending people in on the floor during the play, and that's the real problem. Like I said before, they're coming through and they're creating a distraction behind the basket. That should be on the event staff to really keep them in check until there's a whistle.
Elliot, here's what I've been coaching now for 6 years on the JV level, 3 years before as an assistant. These kids nowadays are so much bigger, stronger, well prepared. I think Yogev and the Step It Up camp's got a lot to do with that, what he does with the kids, preparing these kids. I think these kids also take it much more seriously. They're playing year-round. They're going to camps like Step It Up in the summer. I think it really shows, and we're really reaping the rewards of all these extra basketball activities.
Like I said, I believe in this game alone, there are 6 players who have been to Step It Up. TABC bringing up the floor. Suss. Oh, mishandled by Stepner. Wasn't expecting that. Samet gets it all across to Gopin. Gopin down low to Barron. Barron turns, puts it up, and gets the foul.
I spoke about it earlier in the game. Barron, to me, is the X factor. He's someone who's very soft-spoken off the court, looks very soft-spoken on the court, but really does everything right. Every little thing right. Crashes the board, is where he's supposed to on the half-court set, and we'll assume he's going to knock down both free throws here, right?
No. Well, that's his third miss from the line on the quarter. A little bit of nerves, I'd assume, as TABC gets back onto the blocks. Pulls down the fourth one, second one of this session.
Here's their 1-2-2. Again, I don't like Sultan there in the middle. Let's see what happens.
And it's rejected. That was Barron. Pass ahead to Barron. Barron drives, puts it up with the right hand, and lays it off the glass and in. Ezra Barron now becoming a huge factor. You said your X factor, certainly becoming a menace for Magen David on that board and transition the other way. Shrem, 5 minutes to go in this third quarter.
See, even if TABC doesn't get a steal, what they do is they dictate the tempo of it with the press.
And that's Sultan.
I mean, they got an easy look here. All right, so Eliyahu's really now starting to take a little bit more aggression on it and attacking, which is leaving the Sultan easy putbacks on the offensive side.
Well, like we said, I think he's finally realizing he's being left alone on an island. Magen David picks up the pass. In transition, up ahead to Dweck. Dweck lays it in, and it's a 2-point game.
Just when you thought things were getting out of hand, here comes TABC back. Really nice job by Magen David.
Suss looks to drive, stops short. Samet, and we'll get a timeout by Oz. 4:20 left in this third quarter of play. Oz taking the first time out of the game for TABC.
Oz likes to call timeouts on the offensive side to draw up a play, calm his team down a little bit here. He's going to look for a very clean, effective offensive set. I like it. I like it a lot. Calms things down, puts them in a good position to score. And what he's probably talking about with here is, okay, here's what we're doing. If we score this bucket, here's what press we're doing. If we don't, here's what we're falling back into. Set him up for every possible scenario. He's too good of a coach not to be doing this in the timeout right now.
So we had a 7-point lead just over 2 minutes to go by TABC. TABC had come out really, really strong. Cooled off a little bit, but it really seems like it's been Magen David that has made the biggest adjustment in the first 4 minutes of this half.
I think I agree with you. I think Magen David has made the adjustment where they become a little bit more. They have to be the aggressor on the defensive end. They have to be the aggressor. When it hit 7 points after the three, which Gopin hit a nice three from behind the arc, a couple steps behind the arc, Magen David has to be the aggressor here. They did with the steals, and they started pushing the ball. Let's see what Oz has designed here in this offensive set. I expect something nice coming out. Kindlera back in the game.
So Kindlera will recap with 3 fouls in that first half of play. 2 almost immediately right after the other.
Yeah.
He'll control the ball as Suss takes a seat. Over to Barron. Barron again around that elbow. Gets his own rebound, misses. That's 2 in a row. Technically a third. And we'll get a foul. Barron will pick up his.
That play they're running, what they're doing is they're bringing a guy to the corner, and they're enticing the defense to the corner, which opens up the double post overload.
Did they give that to Kindlera? They give that to Kindlera. My apologies. Kindlera now has 4 fouls.
Oh, wow.
Beta.
Very interesting.
Misses. Pulled down by Barron. Kindlera. So Kindlera now playing with 4 fouls. I didn't see Kindlera. Must have been from behind. Kindlera.
Looks like the assistant coach telling Oz right now that was now on Kindlera with 4.
Well, he can see it up on the board also.
Yeah.
That's clear as day for everybody.
They don't
else
see that in many scoreboards in the Yeshiva League, so it's nice to see here.
I'll tell you what, I'm sure that Coach Dweck saw that as well and said, let's see what we can do with that one. As the ball gets over in the corner to Stepner. Dweck thought the ball was going the other way, and Gopin misses the running finger roll.
Looks like Magen David is really now dictating the tempo.
Oh, it looks like TABC again, as you said. TABC is rushing a bit, taking ill-advised shots. Beta.
Elliot, I know that Barron's been the X factor right now. Samet has to touch the ball on the offensive side. He's just too good.
Do you think there's a little bit of, I guess, you want to say, scared nerves, considering the ball, the lid's been on the rim for him for the first half?
He's too good not to demand the ball, want the ball, and shoot the ball.
Gopin. Over to Kindlera. Kindlera has Barron down low. He finally sees him. Barron not able to do anything with it. Sends it back out. Gopin drives, puts the ball up, misses. Eliyahu pulled down the rebound.
I need, as a coach, I need to tell my team that Samet has to touch the ball. He needs to put the ball in his hands and generate.
Dweck. Over to Beta.
Important set coming up for Magen.
Again,
just literally, right there.
And it's in.
Literally begging him, Elliot.
Jacob Eliyahu has now put his mark on this game. We're talking 26 points for Magen David, a tie ball game. He has 10 of them.
TABC showing a little bit of confusion here. They're running their high X double set. Samet with the ball in his hands.
Lid still on the rim. Sutton pulls down the rebound. Ball coming back the other way. Dweck pulls it back out, thinks better, sets the ball back up with Shrem.
If I'm Magen, I'm looking to get Kindlera out this game.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And they have a Eliyahu also. Ball goes in there. He makes one bad move. We're talking, we have 150 left in this third.
And he's a great on-ball defender, so he's sagging a little bit now because of it.
Beta.
Corner.
Beta got his hand on it, down to Eliyahu, and now he's got to be careful. Beta, over to Dweck in the corner for 3. Misses long, pulled down by Barron. Barron out to Samet.
Good set, good shot, just didn't go.
Slowing it down, getting to Kindlera. Kindlera pulls up, and he gets and he walks. Too many steps in this tie ball game. 26-26 with 1:27 left.
There's no need for a timeout with the stoppage and play there. He got his sub. Interesting, he keeps Kindlera in.
I actually think they just changed that foul over the foul over to Barron.
Oh, there you go.
So I think as Eliyahu gets it and lays it in, nobody saw him.
There's your adjustment, Elliot.
Nobody saw him, but I believe now that they just made the change for the foul over to Joe Barron, as we said before. So a little less pressure on Kindlera now, but we'll find out at the end of the quarter what really happened there, although that is what I believe happened.
Elliot, the shots get a little tighter, the rim gets a little smaller here. Things starting to tighten up for everybody.
As the corner 3 from Sachs misses.
The pressure starts to build here, Elliot. Let's see what we can do on this last set. If I'm Dweck, I'm holding for 1 here.
Is it ironic that the threes are falling more for the big men for TABC than the little guys?
Excellent call. Excellent call.
And they're going to hold for 1 with 30 seconds left and a 2-point lead in the third quarter of this. The JV championship game. TABC Magen David rematch.
Good
from
play
2
by
years ago.
Start your offensive set at about 15 seconds.
We'll see when they do decide.
They're waiting a little bit too long.
We want to leave enough time for a rebound just in case. Beta sends it over to Shrem. Shrem to Dweck. Rolls in and out, and it's put back in! And that
Turn
will
around.
be Leo Beta. Ball goes to Samet. Samet will not get it off in time. Leo Beta, his first 2 points of the afternoon.
An absolute great third quarter for Magen David. He made the adjustments on the press, which we saw. He made the adjustments on dictating the tempo and not letting it come. Let's see what Oz can do. He's too good not to make adjustments.
And what was a 4-point lead for TABC coming into this third quarter of play is now a 4-point lead for Magen David leaving it. Coach, we have 8 minutes left, or what seems like 8 minutes left. Let's assume that we're not going any further than that. TABC, inside game, where has it been? What got them there at the end of the first half?
Yeah, I don't know, but I'm more concerned of, if I'm TABC, if I'm Oz right now, I need my offense running through. I don't care if he shoots the ball. I don't care. It needs to run through Zevi Samet. It needs to. He needs to have the ball in his hands. He needs to make decisions. He needs to knock down shots. Even if the shots are not going, the ball needs to be in his hands, and Oz is going to look to get him the ball as much as possible. Oz probably will show a different look on his 1-2-2 as Salih's picked up a couple of adjustments here, and let's see where that goes. Magen David to start with the ball for the fourth.
Come back into play here at the Regal Bank broadcast booth. Fourth quarter of play, the deciding 8 minutes. Who will walk out with this?
Elliot, I don't want Magen David slowing the ball down and holding. I want them to keep their mentality of attacking the ball, attacking the basket, excuse me. I don't want them holding. Here they're a little bit too much on the perimeter with no looks.
Well, that's exactly what TABC did to start the second half. So as Eliyahu. And let's hear what this explanation
looks like it's
is.
off on Barron.
Yeah, Barron's foot might have been off when he touched the ball. And so the set will come underneath for Magen David. Dweck.
Terrible pass.
And an interception by Kindler. Kindler going to look to take it the other way. Dishes it off to Samet. Samet, Euro step, and in! So we've just received word that the foul will not go to Kindler. It will go to Barron. So Kindler, at least a little less pressure on him. 3 fouls. But that great play, great interception, sending it to Samet for Samet's first 2 points.
Elliot, mark it down.
Half.
7:30 in the fourth where Samet gets going.
And he hits that free throw as well.
Mark it down with that layup.
So the old-fashioned 3-point play, falling for Samet. Shrem with a 1-point lead.
And Magen again looking a little tentative on these possessions. I don't love it.
Beta picked up his third, and an interception again by Kindler. Kindler lays it in, and TABC takes the lead again. Kindler being the spark.
Great timeout.
Talk about not being afraid to just play the game with 3 fouls, stepping in, pulling it down, taking it the length of the court. Last time dishing it off, getting the assist to Samet. This time taking it home himself. Responsible for the last 5 points, you can say, giving Samet that free throw. Responsible really for the last 5 points in the game, giving TABC the lead.
Yeah, Kindler is a spark plug, and that foul or no foul is going to be actually a really important play. But my point on the Samet 7:30, he gets going off those layups, and I expect his next shot to fall. I just want to give a really quick shout out to my good friend and colleague who I've been coaching with for a long time and playing with since my days in JEC basketball. That's Ari Wittges.
Ari Wittges is here. Ari Wittges, Hafter. Great man on the mic as well for those who have listened to Hafter broadcasted the JV championship game in MYHSAL last year. Good friend as well. We welcome him to the Maximum Athletic Center. Dweck. Rem. It's not TABC in the press. Beta drives it. Finger roll.
Good move.
Stepner providing pressure, pulling down the ball as well. Hands it over to Kindler.
Let's get a good offensive set on TABC side, get the ball in Samet's hand, and see what can happen.
Kindler rolls around the top, daring Magen to come out on him. Gopin looks to drive, dishes it out. Corner three by Samet, misses. Dweck pulls down the ball.
Of course, I was wrong.
Shrem. Look, sometimes you just got to go with what brought you to the ball, right?
I like the aggressiveness. I like the play call. They're looking for him, and clearly he wasn't afraid to shoot.
Speaking about what brought it to you, getting to Eliyahu. Eliyahu not getting a chance that time, getting it again over to Sultan, who now has to take it from about 12 out, and he drains that.
I've seen that guy knock it down all year. That is his range. 12-foot knockdown shot.
Surprising that they haven't gone to it a little more now that they know that Stepner's been guarding him down low on the high-low. And almost thrown away. Gopin with the save. Kindler calling out the X.
Stepner going to go seal the big man over here. Look.
Samet over to Barron. Barron draws two, sends it over to Kindler. Kindler into the corner, Gopin, and he's going to get called for a walk.
I really like what Barron's doing on the court today. He's bringing a ton of energy. Kindler.
Well, things have changed since he came into the game in the middle of that first quarter, towards the end.
Kindler, always the lockdown defender. Really great defender. And here's Sal's adjustment. He brings a second guy up on this. This is the adjustment, which is the right move, and they should probably bring the guy who inbounds the ball all the way up on the opposite side. Let's see what he does.
Dweck over Shrem, back to Dweck. Beta crosses the timeline, looks to drive on Stepner, gets underneath and lays it in.
Very nice move.
Dweck 6 points on the quarter.
I don't mind that. I don't mind that if I'm Oz.
Magen David now a 3-point lead. Kindler over to Gopin. Gopin for three. He's going to miss that. Pulled down by Barron.
Barron's all over the place.
Barron in the corner, picked up his dribble, sends it all the way across Stepner. We'll get it out to Kindler. Kindler, Oz asks him to hold it up and set with 5 minutes to go.
Set something up.
Over to Barron. Barron for three. Misses, and Eliyahu will take the rebound down.
Not the look you're looking for. Not what you're looking for on the TV side.
Magen David looked to slow things down a bit.
TABC's got to now dictate the tempo on the defensive end, which they're doing.
Shrem and Dweck. Down low to Eliyahu, and that'll be a foul on Barron. That'll be Barron's third. Because he picked up that other one down low. So what was Kindler's loss or gain was Barron's loss, and they. Oh wait, that's his. I apologize. That is only his second.
Excellent job by TABC.
And a bad miss.
Tempo. Excellent.
Yeah, I accidentally counted the one that they did count on him twice because I crossed it off the first time. So there we go, on a timeout by Oz with 4:41 left to go. Want to thank our sponsors again, Legal Bank in New Jersey, Camp David Hockey Camp, Camp Step It Up. Thank you for sponsoring today's broadcast. 4:41 to go, Coach. It's a 3-point game. You're Oz with the ball. What do you set up here?
I'm Oz with the ball. I'm looking for, again, I'm looking for to put the ball in Zevi Samet's hand and let him create. They like to run where they push the ball to one side of the court. They pop Zevi up off of free throw line extended up, and they'll screen on the other side. And they like to hit off that top screen. Let's see if he runs that play, which he loves. But I expect Zevi with the ball in his hand, making good decisions. He needs to knock down a shot. And then I expect them to go back into their 1-2-2 pressing, different variation. But I love Elliott. I love what Oz is doing on the defensive end. He's not sitting back.
So TABC actually outscoring Magen David this quarter, 5-4. But Magen David, as you said, dictating the tempo. As we get a mop off of the corner in the far corner.
You know, it's interesting. The shots on both teams are not falling. I expect it to fall at some point. There's going to be some run of three-pointers that we're going to see on this game.
Well, there's not much time left, assuming it doesn't go any longer than 4:41. So if they're going to do it, they're probably going to have to start doing it now.
How about Magen David, huh? How about them? I mean, what a program these guys have built over there. Ike and Sal Dweck. Absolute, really just a tremendous program up from the 6th grade, and just time and time again, you see them in the championship, time and time again. They have teams who, in this year, Elliot, I don't think they were expected to do much, and here they are. And that's really like a tribute to Sal and to Ike and to the program, and just a tremendous job. Again, what is going on here
They
today?
were wiping up the floor in the corner, so they decided to just pull everybody back until they can get it all fully.
Let me tell you something. As a coach, I love this. It's an extra free timeout, right?
Yeah.
It's like Jason Kidd when he spilled water on the floor on purpose, right?
Well,
These are the things.
You don't get caught by the league here, and you don't get fined, so neither coach really has to worry about it because it's nowhere near either of their benches.
These are what these. Listen, you got 4:41. You got 4:41 left in the fourth quarter. 3-point game. This is what it's all about, Elliot. This is what it's all about. Yeshiva League Championship, packed house, Yeshiva University, 3-point game. Away we go.
Well, you know what it's like to be involved in close games down to the wire. Last championship you were in came down to free throws.
Oh, yes.
With 1.4 left on the clock. Really close game throughout.
I've been blessed to have good teams. I've been blessed by a tremendous and supportive Frisch administration, led by Rabbi Siener, Rabbi Wald, and my athletic director, Aaron Koren. I've been blessed to have a great parent body and community support me on what I do, and I just, I love doing it. As much as I love announcing, I love coaching more. But I'm hoping I give some good insight here.
I mean, I got to say that it's always bittersweet to have you available for these games. But honestly, for me, there's no better choice.
Thank you.
No better choice. I don't think there's anybody other than the two that are involved in today's game that really know the depth of each of the kids on these teams as well as you do. And so we thank you for joining us on this broadcast.
I hope I don't see you next year.
Well, I hope I see you, but I hope I'm calling you the week before to get information on your team as opposed to the other way around.
Fair enough.
As Kinderlehrer brings the ball up the floor. Hands it over to Gopin.
Inside screen, looking again for Samet.
Samet puts up the three.
Wow.
Not getting the roll. Stepner knocks it away from Sultan, but Magen David will get it anyhow as Eliyahu laying out to pick it up.
Oz is doing what he's supposed to, and you see his facial expressions on the side. He's doing what he's supposed to. He's putting the ball in the best player on his court's hands, and I like it. And you ride your best player. You ride who got you here. And away we go.
Well, given how successful the press was, the fact that he just let them lay off and get back into their set, does that signal a change?
Yeah, side out of bounds over there. No. On the rebound, you mean over there?
Well, no, just coming back. Yeah, coming back
yeah,
to the floor.
The rebound, I don't mind that. As long as they dictate the tempo over here and don't sit back in the 2-3. Eliyahu becoming a absolute major factor in this game.
Sultan a little further out than he would really like to be. Shrem over to Dweck. Dweck going to slow it down now. 3:45 left to go.
I hate this. I hate this. I absolutely hate this. Forget shot clocks. I just don't feel that kids on the Yeshiva JV level, unless you practice it time and time again, can execute well and a stall.
As Veda misses, I'm going to get a foul on Eliyahu. I think the difference, though, is they're not looking to hold for one. They're looking to get that pass into Eliyahu, and he's just not. They're just being denied, ball denied. Because it seems like they're not afraid to take it to the lane. They're just looking for that play that they really, really want. So I think it's a little different than, holding for one with 3:45 left to go.
That's a fair point. Magen David also pressuring.
Samet missing wrong again. Rim, cover, nothing going. Shrem.
I don't mind the shot there at all again. It was a post touch. Barron again.
Pull away by Barron. Barron been a great defensive force. Barron over to Kinderlehrer. Kinderlehrer going to drive untouched and lay it in.
Barron is just an unsung hero. He just does everything right. Nothing wrong. He does everything right. Man, I don't like Sultan bringing it up like this.
And a really ill-advised shot. Looking to go over his head. Kinderlehrer driving back. Sends it. Bounce pass to Gopin. Gopin puts it up. Misses. Gets his own rebound. Puts it up. And the foul! Daniel Gopin. Rebound. Lane. Foul. And the lead.
How many offensive second chance points have we seen from TABC?
I can't even count. We're not keeping track of rebounds, but if somebody were to, TABC would have a massive number. As Gopin misses with 2:39 to go, TABC enjoying a 1-point lead. Magen David bring it back up the floor.
Now, depending on what Magen does here, TABC is a genius at holding the ball.
Eliyahu misses, pulled down by Beta. Beta gets blocked. The ball gets knocked away from Sultan.
That looked off Magen. I got a bit lucky call there.
From my vantage point, I think he got a hand in. I think Barron got his hand in on the ball. Might have touched afterwards. Sultan with the alley-oop misses and pulled down by Samet.
I expect TABC to do their hold here. They run a very good stall offense.
Well, let's see how long as we have people already calling for one. Would it be the strangest we've ever had again last year with 3:40 I believe left on the clock as we now hit the 2-minute mark left in this JV championship game here at the Max Brown Athletic Center on the campus of Yeshiva University.
Oz wants to suck them up on defense, bring them up, and then backdoor them. And hopefully they go man or get an open look on
Gopin puts up the 3 and misses. He just stood there admiring that.
Not a bad shot.
Yeah, but you can't just expect it to go in with 1:44 left. He has to follow that shot up. Shrem. Dweck. Back to Shrem. Shrem down low to Eliyahu. Eliyahu drives, passes up to Sultan, and a block by Barron. Salmon bringing it down. Barron, as you've said all day, the defensive glue for them. Kinderlair.
Absolute X factor.
Samet, 1:17 to go. 1 point TABC lead. TABC hoping they can smell it. Open in the corner. Step. That's Kinderlair pulling it out. Getting fouled. Smart move. Smart move. He could have driven it in, but even so. And that's Shrem's. I believe that's Shrem's 3rd foul. But pull it back. Take some more time off. Make them come out and start fouling you. He did have a wide open lane though if he wanted to take it.
Absolute right play by Noam Kinderlair to bring that ball out. Now what you want to do if you're TABC is you want to make them foul you, and now you got to knock down free throws.
Well, now there is a 6 on the board under Magen David. So anything from here on out, we're talking foul shots for TABC. TABC started out the game on foul shots, so the truth is they're primed and ready from the line.
I expect Oz to prepare them for a zone defense and a man-to-man. I expect Solly to go man-to-man here.
See how it works out. I'd like to thank all of our viewers tuning into today's game. Thank you so much. You are watching an extremely close, extremely tight, phenomenal JV game that sets the stage for our varsity game to come right after.
Where's the arrow pointing, Elliot?
Arrow is pointing, looks as if it's pointing TABC way.
There we go.
So, key for them, any jump ball stays with them.
So TABC with the game reset advantage here. Ball in hand. Next foul, they're in the bonus. And they have the jump ball possession.
I think the TABC faithful heart would stop if they have to go to yet another session for the 2nd week in a row. Last week's... Salmon almost dropping bait out of his shoes.
Oz spacing the court well, runs his stall.
Doing a weave up top. Gopin to Kinderlair.
Oh, he went back court. Wow.
No, I think it was fine. I was looking over here. His leg did not come down. And Kinderlair, ball's on the ground. Timeout. Gopin picking it up. Eliyahu looking for a travel, but he never had possession of the ball.
Absolute lost opportunity by Magen. The ball was in front. They didn't get on the floor. Now, what do we talk about 50-50s as coaches all the time? 50-50s, you got to get on the ball. You got to get on the floor.
Yeah, looked as Kinderlair. I know the vantage point's not so great. Kinderlair's leg did not come down to the other side of the court. He swung his leg around, did not step. Kept the ball on his side of the line. 49.7 to go. TABC, and the most important part of that, they got the timeout. It didn't go to a jump ball, so they still have possession.
Still have possession. Exactly right. If you're Magen David, you have to go for an immediate steal and foul right away. You cannot waste any more time here. 49 seconds. Worst case, you're down 3, and at that point, you can now execute your offensive sets for either decide to go for a quick 2 on the offensive side. If I'm Magen, I probably don't settle for 3s. Now I look to attack. And TABC will probably sag back into a 2-3 zone with pressure on top.
The real problem for Magen David, who hasn't used their bench at all today, they have 2 players with 3, Eddie Shrem and Leo Beta, 1 with 2, Joe Sultan. The question is, considering they've been your glue guys the entire way, who do you send out there to start fouling?
Interesting. Did he bring out anyone new?
No, he has not made a sub this entire game. These 5 for Magen David have been on the floor since the very beginning.
You have to go for a quick steal and then a foul. You got to go for a quick steal and a foul here.
TABC, as they put Oz back to the bench, is going to call another timeout. Look to see what Magen David was setting up and brought him right back to the bench. As we are 49 seconds away, TABC looking to repeat as JV champions. Magen David looking to take back the title. Last year losing in the semis. 2 years ago taking the championship. from TABC. TABC looking for their revenge and a back-to-back, first back-to-back since...
Thank you. Since Frisch Cougars.
Since Frisch did it, I believe it was 4 and 5. It was 4 and 3 at this point. 4 years ago and 3 years ago.
I don't mind a quick bucket if I'm Magen David either here again because time is the enemy right now. Time is the enemy. So quick bucket is the same thing as putting the kid on the free throw line and then knocking down a one-on-one. So you really want here, they're running a flat 4-down set on the break. I look for some screens and some back screens and to get the ball into Samet's hand.
Going to go man-to-man on the inbounds. As they got it to Barron. Barron will hold it, sends it out to Suss. Suss to Samet. Samet back to Suss. Kinderlehrer, they're going to go 3 men up top. Suss, 40 seconds left on the clock. Over to Samet. Samet just holding the ball.
They got a foul here.
Yeah, they're waiting way too long. And that goes to Sultan? Yeah, that'll go to Sultan. That would be Sultan's third, big man's third.
Not sure what Solly was looking for there.
They're going to go 1-on-1. They're going to send Samet to the line. Samet will get a 1-on-1.
Again, even if you knock down both, it's still a one-possession game.
And he misses and we get a violation.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, you took 12 seconds off the clock, right? And it's just that
may as well
time.
Foul early. I think they were trying to. They just couldn't peg him down.
Now, if I'm TABC here, I have fouls to give. I have 3 fouls to give, excuse me.
Which is exactly what Magen David varsity did last year on Frisch. Didn't let him set, just took a couple of fouls. Barron pounding him. Ball goes out of bounds. Oh, whoa. No, I disagree with that.
He needs some help.
I disagree with that. That looked like that was well off of Magen David's hand. I didn't see who was driving with the ball, but it looked like it touched his left hand out of bounds. But they're going to say ball stays with Magen David. That could be huge.
Elliot, Magen David was a little bit too rushed on that possession. You got to calm them down a little bit. You still have 22 seconds.
22.9 left in the 2019 MYHSAL JV Championship basketball game. Again, thank you for tuning in. Taking this one right down to the wire. TABC a 1-point lead. Went into the half with a 4-point lead. Came into the third, down 4. Now up by 1. Low-scoring affair. Very quick game.
I got to be honest, I didn't expect a 35-34 game. I was thinking, 50s.
Well, with both teams, run and gun transition whenever they can. I mean, it looked for a certain time in the middle that it was going to be that way, and then both teams have sort of slowed down and started using the perimeter.
TABC's got to focus on Sultan on the inside here. Make them inbound the ball to the outside of the floor.
Eliyahu inbounding. Bounces it to Sultan. Sultan, I think they're going to call a foul on Samet.
2 shots, it looks like, also.
Yep. Looked like he got ball from here, but you know what? Refs are down there, and Sultan's going to go to the line.
I'm not certain about that call.
First time today, Sultan at the line. We'll see how well the big man can hit from the charity stripe.
Nerves clearly a factor here, Elliot.
21.5 to go. Sultan puts it up and in, and we have a tie ball game.
Wow. 21 seconds, plenty of time. How many timeouts did Oz?
Oz has taken 2 this half.
Plenty of time.
Sultan for the lead with 21-5. Hits it. And Magen David has a 1-point lead coming down the final stretch.
No fouls to give.
19 seconds left. Kinderlehrer, and we got a timeout for Oz.
No fouls to give for Magen. No fouls to give.
Wow.
Here we go.
Well, now you get the chance to set up your play. If you're Oz, what's your bread and butter right here?
Oz has to put out in this timeout a zone play and a man-to-man play. If I'm Solly, like Bill Raftery, the great Bill Raftery, man-to-man. I'm going man-to-man on this. I'm playing straight up man-to-man, and I'm looking to deny anything on the outside and make them hit outside. On the inside and make them hit outside shots. Oz has got to put together some zone play and some man-to-man play. Obviously, I still want the ball in my best player's hand. My best player who got me here is Zevi Samet. I expect him to step up as the coach, and I want him to step up as the coach.
Zevi Samet with 7 points on the afternoon, 5 of them in the second half. Zevi Samet.
Watch the inbounder come back off of this. Scopin. Side out of bounds set. Oh, okay, they're not pressuring it. Interesting, he goes to a 2-3. Corner shot, They got that play that they run. There's Samet.
3-point from Samet. Misses. Pulled down. And we got a loose ball with 4 seconds left. And we're going to get a jump ball, which is TABC way. 3.5 left. Coach Sully over here.
Very interesting. He called timeout. They did not hear.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
He was all the way over on this side of the floor, and we're going to get it going TABC way. 3.5 left. What drama coming down to the very end. Barron's going to inbound the ball underneath.
Okay, what they run here is their double post with Barron. They'll run Samet across and Stepner wide open.
And it's into the
wow.
With 1.9 left. Fouled.
Not over yet, guys. Step back. Not over yet.
Wow. Wow. What a play. Stepping right in front of the pass. Getting fouled with 1.9 left.
I got to say, as a coach, I have such respect for Sali Dweck as a basketball coach. He just keeps his team in it the whole game. He doesn't panic, and he just keeps his team in it the entire game.
And we got a timeout. We got a timeout. Was that in the shoot? Was that an act of shooting?
No.
Yeah,
TABC got the look they wanted. They hit Barron on that off the corner, and then they pitched it out to Samet. Just couldn't knock down the shot. They got the look they wanted.
Yeah, so it's a side. So they were setting up like there was going to be shots. I wasn't sure what was going on. But now, with 1.9 left, and inbounds is really all you need. And Coach Saul is going to call a timeout now.
At this point, we're looking for a miracle, Elliot.
If you're Coach Saul, do you just throw it into all the way deep in the front court under the basket?
What I want to do, exactly. Under no circumstances am I inbounding the ball on the back court. Under no circumstances am I inbounding. First of all, do I have another timeout? I go to my...
I believe he has one more.
Okay.
I believe he's taken 3.
Okay, so I know as a Magen David coach, I have a timeout. And the worst case scenario, if I cannot get that ball in and I don't call a timeout, is I'm throwing it deep
and
high on the opposite side of the court. Under no circumstances am I inbounding the ball.
At the very least, you have the bigs battle for it, have one tip if the clock starts. Nobody with possession. You can't call a timeout if you don't have possession.
That's exactly right.
So with 1.9 left, Magen David a 1-point lead, 1.9 away from bringing the JV championship back home to Brooklyn for the second time in 3 years.
Absolute great game. Absolute great game. Well coached on both sides. I mean, really well coached.
And here we go.
Oz is frustrated. They were open, didn't execute.
Had the lead with under a minute left. Magen David taking it back, 36-35.
I'm looking for this lob over here where Samet's guarding Beta, I believe. That's it. Jumping jacks. Don't inbound on the side.
And the ball goes to Dweck, and he gets fouled. And so
that's a good foul. Nothing wrong. It's a good foul.
0.8 left on the clock, even less than before at this point. Kindler.
Is the Trent Tucker rule in effect here? Is that 0.3?
Yeah, well, I believe so. And so is that Kindler's 5th, or is that still his 4th? Have they not changed it?
They have 5 up on the board.
I know that. I just don't know if they've changed that since. No, they have not. So they're keeping him in. They have not. They didn't change it back from what they had at the half.
Gotcha.
So he only has 4 now. I think the refs are aware of that situation.
I might even just throw it off his leg here.
Beta. Sultan, and that's going to be the ball game. Magen David, the 2019 MYHSAL JV champions.
Congratulations to the Magen David Warriors. Congratulations to Oz Cross, an absolute amazing coach in the TABC Storm for a great season. But once again, I mean, just an absolute great program that the Magen David Warriors have built from 6th grade on up. Just incredible. Just absolutely incredible.
And as we look at the point totals for this game, Magen David Warriors, the 2 inside, Sultan and Eliyahu, each with 12. That's really the story of the game.
I think Eliyahu's the story of the game. I think, listen, you're always going to find that kid who no one expects. Why? Because everyone keys on the superstar, right? So, and in the first half, he looked like he wanted no part of it. In the second half, he started stepping up. He started doing what he needed to, attacking the basket and pitching. And like you said, Elliot, just a tremendous job by Eliyahu.
So Sultan getting 6 points in the first quarter, getting denied from there on. Eliyahu stepping up at the free throw line, taking the ball in whenever he had the opportunity to. 12 points, really pacing key moments for Magen David, leading Magen David to that championship victory. Again, just want to, before we head to the postgame, just want to thank our sponsors. Thank you to Legal Bank of New Jersey. Thank you to Camp Step It Up. Thank you to Camp David. Magen David Warriors celebrating in front of us as Seth Gordon about to go out and hand out the hardwood, the championship trophy for the 2019 season.
One more time. I've seen it time and time again now. I see these kids just bigger, better, understanding game situations. I have a tremendous amount of respect for Yogev and what he's done on that and all these other programs. A tremendous amount of respect.
A tough time for TABC. Second time in 3 years walking off on the losing end of the handshake. Not for a lack of effort. Again, 2 years ago, getting down big at the half, coming back very, very close. This time, back and forth game, having the lead with a minute left, walking away without the victory.
You know what I love about this as a coach? You just see the back and forth, the adjustments, Elliot, the timeouts, the timeout, off the timeout, what they're running. Now, I mean, just as a coach, I love it. I think our coaching across the Yeshiva League has also gotten so much better. Just an absolute great game. Congratulations to Magen David again. Congratulations to TABC. I know a lot of these boys from growing up, through elementary school. I have a tremendous amount of respect for their program and Oz in general, and just an absolute great game. And thanks.
Well, as we talked about, that coaching, probably the main reason, as we let off the broadcast, with the parity. A lot of coaches know what they're doing. A lot of coaches really taking the time to work. A lot of camps step it up. Also taking time to work with the kids to the point where it really is down to just the nitty-gritty as to what the differences are.
It's down to exactly. It's down to how do you get quick, easy points? Is it that couple of the leak outs there? Is it a jump ball play that we're running? How do you get those 2 to 3 or 4 easy points? Because we know it's going to be a tight game, and those easy points, those fast break points, those leak out points, those jump ball points, those are going to be the difference in the game. And actually, how about Sultan knocking down those free throws?
Yeah. Yep.
Amazing.
As Seth Gordon hands out the trophy. Coach Saul Dweck receiving the trophy. And he'll now announce the MVP, we hope.
Elliot, Magen David's got a little something else. They have school spirit. They all support each other. Like I said, this program is just well run from the bottom up, and just a really well played game.
Well, it's funny. I mean, you live in and around the TABC kids. I happen to live in and out of the Magen David kids. I'm from Brooklyn. I've seen several of these kids play. I've known them when they were on the junior high school level as well. So the truth is, it's both ways. You have teams that are built from the ground up, really have solid coaching throughout their young careers, to the point where this was going to be the one-point game that it was. You couldn't expect anything different, especially as we said earlier.
I will say this.
Joe Sultan given the MVP.
I will say this. I've seen teams that have talent and deserve to win. To me, this season, and I'm a coach, so I'm a little biased, this season is Saul Dweck has proven what a great basketball coach is. Just with it. I'm not saying he didn't have talent. He wasn't the most talented team, but he had these kids clearly believing. He had them clearly prepared, and he executed his plan to perfection. An absolute pleasure to watch him coach, and he really impressed me this whole season.
So let's just recap. Going back to the first half, Magen David holding TABC to 6 points on 6 foul shots.
Yeah, just jitters, nerves, call it what you want. They dared him to beat him from the outside. They didn't adjust like TABC dared Eliyahu to hit that high post, jumper, mid-range jumper, and Magen David adjusted on it where they became more aggressive. TABC didn't adjust. I don't want to say didn't adjust by knocking down, but didn't adjust to getting better looks but really just knocking down the shots. I mean, to me, the out of bounds play at the end of the game that Oz drew up really was there. They missed one look on it. I saw the post was wide open. They missed a look. And then the second look they got on the Samet shot, that's who I want. I'll say it over and over and over. And if I were coaching this team and people would yell at me after, right, I would say, that's who I want with the ball in my hand.
As we said during the game, sometimes you just got to go with what brought you there. And Samet's play throughout the season is what brought TABC back to this game for the second year in a row. Samet, again, a sophomore. Next year, the entirety of the starting line and most of the players, with the exception of Ellie Sachs that played, will be on the varsity level. How will these teams adjust to the varsity level? And do you think that for these TABC players, I guess a run back to the championship on the varsity level?
I think that TABC will be very ready. And look, both of these programs, as we spoke about, actually sort of run into their varsity program. Oz, of course, coaches both, and Sally and Ike very close, and in terms of their program, how they run their program and their philosophies. But just to touch on the TABC point that you said, the TABC boys are going to be very ready on the varsity level. Those kids are well primed. I've seen how they've stepped up now as a sophomore, and just behind it, the freshmen currently, that's the team that won 3 championships in middle school. They're going to be ready as sophomores. They have a great incoming class. Listen, I'm excited as the Frisch coach to coach against them. I wouldn't be shocked if we saw TABC competing again for the championship again next year. And I look forward to the challenges against them.
And on Magen David's end, Magen David. Last year, they really thought the truth is, last year they could have won the championship if Albert Nassiri, a true sophomore, was still with them on the JV level. Albert Nassiri, a spark plug for last year's varsity championship. Obviously has nowhere else to go next year other than playing with them. You'll see Nassiri in the next game with Magen David. What does the prospectus look like for Magen David with Nassiri in the lineup next year?
Well, no Nassiri, I guess no Natkin, right, this year. I didn't know much about them this year, so I don't know. But all I can tell you is they're certainly going to be well prepared from Sal Dweck. They're certainly going to be well coached by Ike Dweck. And I certainly know that Magen David is going to be a perennial championship contender.
Oh, again, phenomenal game. Went down to the wire. Really a stretch of 4-point differences at the end of the first quarter of play. Magen David enjoyed a 10-6 lead. At the end of the first half, it was TABC with the 4-point lead. Magen David took the swing again at the end of the third quarter of play. Didn't follow suit all the way down to the very end. 1 point decided this game at 36-35. Magen David victory, as Magen David celebrating with the trophy over.
Are we going to get the opportunity to talk to anyone?
I would hope. I think what we're going to do now is we're going to take a break, and then we're going to look to bring in hopefully a player or a coach so that we can give a little bit of
one last shout out I want to give here, and this is an important shout out. I have an assistant coach of mine who's been with me through thick and thin, and that's my son, my 8-year-old son, William Foreman, who's at every single game with me on the bench. He comes to scout with me to games. William, I know you're listening. I know you wish you were at this game. I love you dearly, like I love all my kids. And of course, I love my wife.
Of course.
But William Foreman, you're a great assistant coach, and I'll go to battle with you any day, buddy.
Don't worry, Amanda. I'm still around for another game. You'll get your thank you coming up. Don't be jealous. But the next Coach Foreman in line.
He is primed for coaching. All he talks about is coaching. So he goes and watches videos with me. He goes and scouts with me, William. He sits on the bench with me when I coach in middle school, when I coach in high school. He loves it. He draws up plays for me on the board. He's a great assistant coach. Thanks, William.
So we're going to take a little bit of a break now. Looks as if Magen David's actually heading into the locker room, so we'll wait to see when they come out, actually. But we're going to take a little bit of a break now. Again, thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to Regal Bank of New Jersey. Step It Up. Camp Step It Up. Camp David. Thank you so much for sponsoring our broadcast of the 2019 MYHSAL JV and Varsity Basketball Championships. We'll send you to break right now. We'll be back shortly from Max Athletic Center on the campus of Yeshiva University. Magen David, the 2019 MYHSAL JV champion.
You are listening to the feature presentation of the Metropolitan Yeshiva High School. You are listening to the Metropolitan Yeshiva High School Athletic League Championship Series on the Yeshiva Sports Network and Max Live. Thank you for tuning into today's coverage of the JV and Varsity Basketball Championships. Be sure to tune into Max Live starting Thursday for the 2019 Red Sarachek Memorial Basketball Tournament. It's March Madness around the Yeshiva League, and we have all of the action for you right here on the Yeshiva Sports Network and MaxLive.com, the exclusive home of the Yeshiva League Championships. Today's contest is sponsored by Regal Bank of New Jersey. For the friendly service you want and the full range of banking services you need, go see Regal Bank. As New Jersey's favorite community bank, they have 10 branches across Morris, Essex, Somerset, and Union counties. From mobile and online banking to remote deposit and home equity loans, they offer it all to keep you thriving in today's fast-paced world. And they believe that your needs always come first. Visit any of their convenient branches and start making the most of your money today. Learn more at regalbanknj.com. Regal Bank is an equal housing and equal opportunity lender and a member of the FDIC. Today's contest is sponsored by Camp David Hockey Camp. Camp David is proud to announce the 2019 camp session now at the beautiful grounds of Camp La Vie and introducing its new MYHSAL division for boys entering 5th and 6th grade. Featuring the most experienced, talented, and caring staff to provide close attention to your son's hockey needs, Camp David has helped players realize their true championship potential for 20 years and can do the same for you. Visit campdavid.com for dates, prices, pictures, and much, much more. We'll be right back with more action from today's championships only on the Yeshiva Sports Network and MaxLive.com. You are listening to the feature presentation of the Metropolitan Yeshiva High School Athletic League JV and Varsity Championships, a Yeshiva Sports Network and Max Live production. Today's broadcast is sponsored by Regal Bank. Visit any of their convenient branches and start making the most of your money today. Learn more. Today's contest is sponsored by Regal Bank of New Jersey. For the friendly service you want and the full range of banking services you need, go see Regal Bank. As New Jersey's favorite community bank, they have 10 branches across Morris, Essex, Somerset, and Union counties. From mobile and online banking to remote deposit and home equity loans, they offer it all to keep you thriving in today's fast-paced world. And they believe that your needs always come first. Visit any of their convenient branches and start making the most of your money today. Learn more at regalbanknj.com. Regal Bank is an equal housing and equal opportunity lender and a member of the FDIC. Today's contest is sponsored by Camp David Hockey Camp. Camp David is proud to announce the 2019 camp session now at the beautiful grounds of Camp La Vie and introducing its new MYHSAL division for boys entering 5th and 6th grade. Featuring the most experienced, talented, and caring staff to provide close attention to your son's hockey needs, Camp David has helped players realize their true championship potential for 20 years and can do the same for you. Visit campdavid.com for dates, prices, pictures, and much, much more. We'll be right back with more action from today's championships only on the Yeshiva Sports Network and MaxLive.com. You are listening to the feature presentation of the Metropolitan Yeshiva High School Athletic League JV and Varsity Championships, a Yeshiva Sports Network and Max Live production. Today's broadcast is sponsored by Regal Bank. Visit any of their convenient branches and start making the most of your money today. Learn more at regalbanknj.com. Regal Bank is an equal housing and equal opportunity lender and a member of the FDIC. And by Camp David Hockey Camp. Camp David is proud to announce the 2019 camp session now at the beautiful grounds of Camp La Vie. Visit campdavid.com for dates, prices, pictures, and much, much more. And by Step It Up Basketball Sleepaway Camp. Log on to timetostepitup.com today to register your child for the basketball summer experience of a lifetime. We'll be back shortly with more action from today's contests. You are listening to the Metropolitan Yeshiva High School Athletic League Championship Series on the Yeshiva Sports Network and Max Live. Thank you for tuning into today's coverage of the JV and Varsity Basketball Championships. Be sure to tune into Max Live starting Thursday for the 2019 Red Sarachek Memorial Basketball Tournament. It's March Madness around the Yeshiva League, and we have all of the action for you right here on the Yeshiva Sports Network and MaxLive.com, the exclusive home of the Yeshiva League Championships. Today's contest is sponsored by Regal Bank of New Jersey. For the friendly service you want and the full range of banking services you need, go see Regal Bank. As New Jersey's favorite community bank, they have 10 branches across Morris, Essex, Somerset, and Union counties. From mobile and online banking to remote deposit and home equity loans, they offer it all to keep you thriving in today's fast-paced world. And they believe that your needs always come first. Visit any of their convenient branches and start making the most of your money today. Learn more at regalbanknj.com. Regal Bank is an equal housing and equal opportunity lender and a member of the FDIC. Today's contest is sponsored by Camp David Hockey Camp. Camp David is proud to announce the 2019 camp session now at the beautiful grounds of Camp La Vie and introducing its new MYHSAL division for boys entering 5th and 6th grade, featuring the most experienced, talented, and caring staff to provide close attention to your son's hockey needs. Camp David has helped players realize their true championship potential for 20 years and can do the same for you. Visit campdavid.com for dates, prices, pictures, and much, much more. We'll be right back with more action from today's championships only on the Yeshiva Sports Network and MaxLive.com. You are listening to the feature presentation of the Metropolitan Yeshiva High School Athletic League JV and Varsity Championships, a Yeshiva Sports Network and Max Live production. Today's broadcast is sponsored by Regal Bank. Visit any of their convenient branches and start making the most of your money today. Learn more at regalbanknj.com. Regal Bank is an equal housing and equal opportunity lender and a member of the FDIC. And by Camp David Hockey Camp. Camp David is proud to announce the 2019 camp session now at the beautiful grounds of Camp La Vie. Visit campdavid.com for dates, prices, pictures, and much, much more. And by Step It Up Basketball Sleepaway Camp. Log on to timetostepitup.com today to register your child for the basketball summer experience of a lifetime. We'll be back shortly with more action from today's contests. You are listening to the Metropolitan Yeshiva High School Athletic League Championship Series on the Yeshiva Sports Network and Max Live. Thank you for tuning into today's coverage of the JV and Varsity Basketball Championships. Be sure to tune into Max Live starting Thursday for the 2019 Red Sarachek Memorial Basketball Tournament. It's March Madness around the Yeshiva League, and we have all of the action for you right here on the Yeshiva Sports Network and MaxLive.com, the exclusive home of the Yeshiva League Championships. Today's contest is sponsored by Regal Bank of New Jersey. For the friendly service you want and the full range of banking services you need, go see Regal Bank. As New Jersey's favorite community bank, they have 10 branches across Morris, Essex, Somerset, and Union counties. From mobile and online banking to remote deposit and home equity loans, they offer it all to keep you thriving in today's fast-paced world. And they believe that your needs always come first. Visit any of their convenient branches and start making the most of your money today. Learn more at regalbanknj.com. Regal Bank is an equal housing and equal opportunity lender and a member of the FDIC. Today's contest is sponsored by Camp David Hockey Camp. Camp David is proud to announce the 2019 camp session now at the beautiful grounds of Camp La Vie and introducing its new MYHSAL division for boys entering 5th and 6th grade, featuring the most experienced, talented, and caring staff to provide close attention to your son's hockey needs. Camp David has helped players realize their true championship potential for 20 years and can do the same for you. Visit campdavid.com for dates, prices, pictures, and much, much more. We'll be right back with more action from today's championships only on the Yeshiva Sports Network and MaxLive.com. You are listening to the feature presentation of the Metropolitan Yeshiva High School Athletic League JV and Varsity Championships, a Yeshiva Sports Network and Max Live production. Today's broadcast is sponsored by Regal Bank. Visit any of their convenient branches and start making the most of your money today. Learn more at regalbanknj.com. Regal Bank is an equal housing and equal opportunity lender and a member of the FDIC. And by Camp David Hockey Camp. Camp David is proud to announce the 2019 camp session now at the beautiful grounds of Camp La Vie. Visit campdavid.com for dates, prices, pictures, and much, much more. And by Step It Up Basketball Sleepaway Camp. Log on to timetostepitup.com today to register your child for the basketball summer experience of a lifetime. We'll be back shortly with more action from today's contests.
Welcome you back to the Max Stern Athletic Center on the campus of Yeshiva University. As you just saw, Magen David defeating TABC 36-35 to take the MYHSAL 2019 JV Championship. I'm with JV Championship winning coach Saul Dweck. Coach Dweck, your second time in 2 years. You were here with us.
Second time in 3 years.
Second time in 3 years, I apologize. You were here with us 2 years ago. That's where I was going. Second time in 3 years. Tell me, differences between these two teams. We talked about it all week.
Very simple. 2 years ago, when we spoke on Friday, I mentioned to you, I could have sat down 2 years ago and been on my phone. I could have made phone calls, and my team with Natkin and Teddy and Ray J
we'll
and the
see
series.
in a few minutes.
We'll see in a few minutes. That team is autopilot. There wasn't a lot of work needed from me because those guys are just gifted individuals. Teddy Cohen, Edmund, all those guys. This year, I didn't know these guys a lot because I got them. He didn't play last year. Elliot Dweck didn't play much this year.
Talk about Joe Sultan, who is on your
the MVP.
right. The MVP we'll get in a minute.
This year we had to work a little harder. It was a little rougher. We started off slow. No one knew who we were. People predicted us 4-6, 5-5. Even me, and I told these guys I'm going to apologize to them publicly. I thought they were going to be 4-6, 5-5. Every game we grew. Every game we adjusted. Every practice we practiced harder. And I told them, don't ever stop believing because it could be possible. And here we are.
Well, what specifically were you able to do with this team that changed the narrative from that?
I used Joe more. I'm an inside-out guy, and I have an Elliot Dweck
today.
I have an Elliot Dweck guy who could shoot the lights out. And my purpose was throw it to the high post, pivot, either lob it to Joe, or they didn't know who Jacob Eliyahu was. He pivoted and went to the hole, And then when all else fails, you just lob it to the big guy, and he was there for us.
Well, I want to talk about that because it seemed like after the first quarter of play, TABC was well aware that you were playing a high-low, looking to get it down to this guy after getting 6 points in the first half.
And who was open?
Jacob Eliyahu.
Basketball is a game of adjustments. And me, Benny Mann, and Elliot Beta, the coaches, say, hey, if they're going to leave him open, we're going to burn you. Throw it to Jacob to break that trap they have or that zone. You must get the ball to the high post, and we know that. We did it with Michael Natkin 2 years ago. So we just traded Michael Natkin for Jacob Eliyahu, pivot and go to the hole.
4-point deficit at the half. What did you say to the team to get them back into it after that second quarter?
I told them they're 10th graders, we're 10th graders. They're in the same gym, they're nervous, we're nervous. They drove an hour, we drove an hour. It's raining for everybody. It was a tough bus ride. There's no difference. You just have to, the team that makes the least turnovers, the team that is less nervous, the team that makes the best adjustments are going to win. And that's what we did.
Coach, thank you very, very much.
Thanks
Congratulations again. Going to bring in Joe Sultan
congratulations to Joe Sultan, the MVP.
Joe, congratulations. Welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you. Thank you.
Believe it was 11 points if my number was correct. 6 in the first quarter alone. Started guarding you. They knew you were the X factor. What happened after that first quarter? Talk us through what your role was to the team the moment that you knew they were going to key on you.
I mean, they just they adjusted. They called timeout. They came out of the break. They focused on me. I was double teamed. They were I don't even know what to say right now.
Well, you just won a championship, so being speechless is obviously a side effect of that.
I don't know. I was just playing as decoy down there, let my teammates get the ball and let them do the work. I'll follow up with the rebounds and I'll put it right back up, and that's what we did.
Well, speaking of the teammates that helped you out, Jacob Eliyahu taking pressure off you by making sure that if they were going to leave him open at the free throw line,
he made them pay for it.
Yeah, he made them pay, and when they decided to come back out, you were the man.
Yep.
Well, it's been an exciting season. Give me one takeaway from this entire season for you, your sophomore year heading up to varsity next year.
I don't know. It's just work as hard as you can. You just got to push yourself to the limit. If you stay where you are and you're just happy for where you are, you're never going to grow in life. And this championship is a show for that.
Well, pick one memory that you're going to take from being here other than lifting that trophy.
Definitely those 2 foul shots to ice the game.
Congratulations. Thank you so much for joining us. Looking forward to seeing you on the varsity level from here on out.
Thank you.
And we thank you for joining us for the 2019 MYHSAL JV Championship. Thank you again to Coach Dobie Foreman, who has left us at this point. Very informative. We thank you for all that you have provided to this broadcast. Thank you again to our sponsors, Camp Step It Up, Regal Bank of New Jersey, and Camp Dovin. Right now, we are going to take about a 25-minute break. We will be back here with 15 minutes on the clock to the varsity championship between Magen, David, and MYHSAL. We will see you then from the Max Athletic Center on the campus of Yeshiva University.